This is Andrea, and today I'm making key lime pound cake. This recipe is so delicious and comes from Southern Living magazine. And as always, I'll make sure to leave the recipe in the description box. But let me show you what you're going to need. You are going to need some flour, sugar, softened unsalted butter, and you're also going to need some shortening, and I am using butter flavored Crisco. You're going to need some milk at room temperature, baking powder, and salt. You're going to need some eggs, also at room temperature. And then you're going to need some key lime juice and the zest of key limes. Now, I decided to juice my own key limes, and I just wanted to show you what they look like in case you've never seen them. They're very small, much smaller than a lime, but if you don't have access to key limes, just use regular lime, and you can also find key lime juice in the grocery stores as well. But I've got some fresh key lime juice and the zest of the key lime, and you're also going to need some vanilla. So let's get started. So we're going to start by mixing together our butter and shortening until it's light and fluffy. Okay, so now that my butter and shortening are nice and fluffy, I'm just gradually adding in that sugar while my mixer's still going, and I'm going to let this go until it's nice and fluffy. And now I'm just adding in my eggs one at a time. Whoops, that was two, but you get the picture. It's supposed to be one at a time. Okay, so next I'm just taking my dry ingredients and adding them to my flour, and again that's my salt and baking powder, and I'm just using a whisk to sift it all together. And so now what I'm doing is alternating adding in my flour and my milk. So now that I have all of that incorporated, I'm adding in about a teaspoon of vanilla, my key lime zest, and my key lime juice. And I'm just going to give it a good stir. Next, I'm pouring the batter into a prepared 10x4 tube pan, and I've just sprayed it with some Baker's Joy, which is a baking spray that has oil and flour in it. Okay, so I've got my batter in the pan. I've got my oven preheated to 325 degrees, and I'm going to let this bake for about an hour and a half. Okay, so I just took the cake out of the oven, and I'm going to let it cool in the pan for about 10-15 minutes. Then I'm going to turn it out on a cooling rack. Okay, so here is the cake. Isn't it pretty? It's nice and cool. Now I'm going to make a little glaze. So I've got some powdered sugar. I have a cup of powdered sugar, and then I just squeezed a couple of key limes. I don't know how much I'm going to use to get the consistency that I want for the icing. Okay, so when it comes to powdered sugar icing, less is more. You can always add, but you can't take away. So I'm adding about a teaspoon, I guess. I'm just going to stir it up. Try to get the consistency that I'm looking for. Not quite there. I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay, so I've got the texture that I'm looking for. It's not too runny, and I'm just drizzling it over the cake. And if you want more icing, of course, feel free to do so, but we're not a big icing family, so I went kind of easy on it. So after I'm done drizzling the icing, I'm going to let it harden, and then I'll cut a slice so you all can see what it looks like. Okay, so here is the cake. As you can see, I've taken a slice out of it, and here it is on the plate. This is a very moist and tender cake. If you've never made a pound cake with shortening before, it makes it a little bit fluffier and a little bit more moist. I hope you all enjoyed this recipe. If you did, please make sure to give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we'd certainly love to have you. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.